Hello friends and welcome to Obsidian Soft. Today we will complete our Notes Firebase app in which we had completed the authentication part in the first tutorial, and now I'm just going to work on the saving and loading notes to your own specific area. That is, you're only able to view your own notes and not someone else's notes. Okay, so choose the note screen and we need a global variable notes list. Okay, and we need to also get our UID and tokens back from the start value. So right click, duplicate. This is now UID. Okay, and this is from dictionary, get value for key, where the dictionary is from control. If I go down, the start value, because if I go back to my screen one, I am sending a start value when I open up the second screen, the note screen, and it is getting a UID and a token, okay, in the form of a dictionary. So remember these spellings, okay? And let's go back to note screen, and for UID, a text block that says UID, okay? Right click, duplicate. Now this is token and token, okay? Okay, so we need this data for making sure that we are writing to the same users, the person who has logged in's area, and we save the data there and we view only his or her data, okay? So when our note screen is initialized, we need to load the existing notes for that user. So for that, we are going to construct a URL for our web component. Okay, so set its URL property to a join of 5 things. So from text, get the join block, click on the cogwheel, add 3 more slots to it. Okay, and so text block, the first one, and now what is the data? That is, actually this is the note screen. So what is the URL? It is made up of 5 things. The database URL, this one that we had saved earlier, and this text, and then that global UID, then this text starting with /, okay, and then the token, okay? So I can copy the database URL from here, go back, okay, and users. So again, text block, users. So don't accidentally paste the one here. So it's users /, and then from variables, get block, okay, and this is my UID. Oh, why did those 2 strings disappear? Okay, so UID and then another text block that says now this text. Okay, so this, oops, again I got the number. So users / and then the UID and then / notes.json auth auth is equal to, and then I can get the token. Okay, oh, where did it go? Yeah, here it is. Okay, so this is my URL. After this, we need to call web1.get, so that we tell the database that now we need to load the data, okay? And this call always triggers web's got text event, okay? But before working on that, let's do the save part first too, and then we can at the end work on got text, because the save part will also trigger this event, okay? So get the save button, click event, and here what I'm going to do is that I'm going to first again check that the user has not left the notes text empty. So again, from control, get the if then else block, and from logic, get the equal to block, check for not equal to an empty text block, and we are checking that our notes text is not equal to an empty text. And if it is, okay, then we will be going inside else, because if notes is not empty, so then we will be actually doing the save part here. And if it is empty, then we will be going in the else part. So here we can show an alert to the user. Use this text block which says, please enter note. Okay. Now what happens in save? First of all, we are going to set our web's URL. So we can actually right click and duplicate it, because this is exactly the same. Okay. So same URL is here, but instead of get, we are going to post text. So from web, get the post text procedure call, and here the text is actually a dictionary that we are going to construct with two pairs in it. One is for time and the other is for note. Okay, so from dictionaries, make a dictionary block, and the text is time for the first key. Right click, duplicate, and this is now my note. Okay, what are the values? So the values for the second key is whatever is inside the notes text box. Okay, but what about time? So that's why we use the clock sensor. So from clock, get the format date time procedure, and it needs an instant. So the instant can be the current time. So again, from clock, get clock.now. Okay, so it will get the current time and format it in this way, that is month, day, in this, including the hours, minutes, and seconds. Okay, and then it will be the value for time key. Okay, so we have sent the data. Okay, so this event, the post text and the get, will both trigger this procedure. So let's now finally work on this. Okay, because both of them are triggering the same event, we need to differentiate between the two events, right? But first, before doing that, let's do some error handling again. From control, get the if then else block, and just like before, check that the response code is 200, because that means all is well, no problem. And in the other situation, I can actually duplicate the notified show alert from here. In the other situation, we can do again a join, okay, of two things. Oh, see, I could have used this text box. I forgot. Okay, response content. So error, colon space, and the response content, whatever the error is. Here is the successful situation. And now we need to differentiate between whether it was a successful load or a successful save. Now, whenever there's a successful save, so we have sent this data to the database, the real-time database, it will save the data against a unique key that will be generated by Firebase real-time database, and it will be sent to us in a JSON form of a key with the text name and the value of that key. So there's always the word name in the response content whenever there's a successful save, and this is how we can differentiate. Okay, so I'm going to check again using the control if then else block. And here I'm going to check that it's a successful load. Okay, so I'm going to check for two things. So I need an AND. Okay, and I can right click and duplicate this whole thing. So I'm going to check that my response content is not equal to null. So this means that there is some data, okay? Because if there's no data in the database at the moment, it will send us a text which says null. So we are going to check that our response content is not equal to null and it does not contain the word name, as I said to you before. So the response content is the text and the piece that we are checking for is name. Okay, so it does not contain the word name, the response content, and it's not null. This is a successful load, and else is a successful save. So in that case, what should we do? We should reload the database. Okay, so call web1's get. Okay, so why are we not setting the URL again? Because we haven't changed it. It's the same as before, so no need to reset it. Okay, so just call the web1.get procedure with whatever is inside the URL. Okay, now what comes here? First of all, we are going to empty our nodes list, okay, to prepare it for the loading. So first of all, we are going to just empty it. Okay, next we are going to decode our dictionary. The response content is in JSON format, so we need to decode it, just like what we did for the first screen. So again, from variables, a local variable. Okay, so make sure that you are still inside if. Okay, so we are working on web1's.got text, and we have checked that our condition for successful load is true. Okay, and now we have made a local variable response dictionary, and we are going to decode it just like before using web's JSON text decode with dictionaries, and we are going to provide it the response content. Okay, once we have the dictionary, now remember the data is being saved against unique keys. Okay, and against those unique keys, each value is actually a dictionary of this form. So you want to get to this and use this to show in our list view, right? So in control, we have a special block, a for loop block for dealing with dictionaries and dealing with the keys and values. So we can use that. It's pretty efficient. So for each key with value in dictionary, and what is the dictionary? It is our response dictionary. And see, now we don't even have to worry about the key, we just have to worry about the value. So we will be getting the values for all the keys in this response dictionary, and each value is a dictionary too, okay, with two key value pairs in it, time and your note. Okay, so I am just going to go to lists and get the add items to list block, and my list is my notes list. Okay, and what is the item? The item we are going to construct here using the text join block of three things. Okay, and the one in the middle is just a dash, so space dash space. Okay, and here we are going to get our time. So how can we get that? From dictionaries, get the get value for key block, okay, in dictionary. So what is the dictionary here? Remember, this is now a dictionary. So the dictionary with two key value pairs in it, and we are going to get the value for key time. Make sure that you are using the same spellings, time, and the second one is now note. Okay, and again my slot has disappeared. I don't know why this happens. So I had to add the slot again. So now this one is just note. So it will construct an item by doing a join of time dash note, and then it will add it to the list. Okay, and at the end of it, once we are done filling up our notes list, we can set it to our list view. Okay, so set list views elements. So outside the local block, I'm going to set it to my nodes list. So I can right click and duplicate and get it from here. Okay, so this is what it looks like, that we have decoded the dictionary, we got the individual dictionaries, the node dictionaries from inside there, and from inside I got the value against time, the value against note, put them together, added to the list, and then after the list was filled up, I set my list views elements to that list. Okay, and this was the else situation, in which we knew that although the response was successful, but it was in return to a successful save, so we need to reload the database. And you know that once we call this will be triggered again, but this time it will be filled up with the data, and then we can update our list view accordingly. Okay, and verify your code, because I just found an error in my code that I'm checking for not null, but I'm checking for name being present here. So do you see the problem? This is a successful load situation, so the word name should not be in the response content. So how can I fix that? By plugging in a not. Okay, so this is actually this. So response content is not equal to null and it does not contain the word name. Then in that case, we are going to load and fill up our nodes list and set the elements of list view to that nodes list. And in the other situation, we are going to call web1.get to reload the data from the database. And this is done. The demo at the beginning, at the very, very beginning of the first part of the tutorial, I had made it from the exact same project. I had to cut the video in 2 parts because of it becoming too lengthy, but yes, the demo was made from this exact same project that I just coded in front of you, so no clickbaits on my channel. And I hope you liked this tutorial. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly do so that you don't miss the great projects that I've planned for you. Thank you for watching. Have a good day and goodbye.